Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're unpacking exactly what it takes to launch a really fascinating, highly rewarding, and honestly incredibly practical career right in the heart of the UK's booming green energy sector. We're zooming in on a vital role, the Grid and DNO Application Coordinator. I mean, if you've ever driven past a massive new solar farm or one of those huge commercial battery installations and thought, how on earth does all that clean power actually get safely plugged into the national infrastructure? Well, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to demystify this whole career path, step by step.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap. Number 1, the Grid Connection Challenge. 2, a coordinator's daily tasks. 3, the repetitive and rewarding realities of the job. 4, how AI actually makes it easier. And finally 5, is this role for you? Section 1, the Grid Connection Challenge.
All right, so to really understand this role, we have to look at the massive bottleneck in the UK's green energy rollout right now. You see, you can't just plug a giant solar farm into the national grid like it's a toaster. Every single large installation needs formal approval before it can go live. And who gives that approval? It's the DNO, or Distribution Network Operator. They're the regional organization managing the power lines in that specific area. And without their express sign-off, those incredibly expensive clean energy systems, they literally cannot be switched on. Which naturally brings us to the real million-dollar question. Who actually gets these green energy projects connected to the grid? Think about it. Somebody has to painstakingly put together those complex applications, someone has to chase down missing information from a dozen different parties, and persistently track the whole thing through this giant bureaucratic maze. It for sure doesn't happen by magic.
Section 2. A coordinator's daily tasks.
The answer to our previous question is, you guessed it, the Grid and DNO Application Coordinator. Now, what's really interesting about this is how it takes a monumental, super technical job and breaks it down into a really manageable routine. A coordinator's day usually kicks off by checking case statuses. Specifically, they're figuring out if a project is a G98 or a G99 type case. From there, they basically act as an investigator, gathering all the necessary site and equipment details, and then, step 3, they physically prepare the formal connection documents. So it sounds highly technical, but the process itself? It's actually incredibly structured. And the daily grind continues with a really strong focus on organization. You'll track application progress meticulously, you'll record essential dates, and continually update CRMs and spreadsheets so the whole team knows exactly where a project stands. You're also chasing missing details from installers all the time. But honestly, above all the tracking and chasing, the true superpower of a coordinator is translation. It's taking all those complex DNO requirements and explaining the next steps to a customer or an installer in plain English. That ability to clearly communicate is what absolutely gets the job done.
Section 3. Repetitive and rewarding realities.
And this brilliantly illustrates the real contrast of the role. Let's be completely transparent here. There is some heavy administration. On the repetitive side, you'll be doing a lot of form checking, managing version control, copying reference numbers between systems, and, frankly, just waiting for DNO responses, which, let me tell you, can sometimes test the patience of a saint. But look at the flip side, because it is immensely rewarding. You are the vital catalyst moving a paper idea into a live connection. You are actively preventing costly delays and accelerating the clean energy transition. You're making a massive, tangible environmental impact, and you're doing the whole shebang without ever needing to put on a hard hat.
Section 4. How AI makes it easier.
Okay, so we really can't talk about heavy admin without talking about the massive modern twist here, which is artificial intelligence. AI is practically wiping out the heaviest burdens of this role every single day. It instantly turns messy meeting notes into super clean, actionable checklists. It drafts those repetitive chase-up emails incredibly fast. And crucially, it summarizes dense, lengthy DNO guidance into simple, plain English notes. It can even automatically compare different versions of application info to spot errors and create first-draft standard operating procedures and FAQs. It's like having a brilliant digital assistant right at your fingertips.
To put that into perspective, here is a quote that hits the nail on the head. AI turns a 2-hour admin headache into a 5-minute task. Just think about that. You aren't just processing paperwork anymore. With these digital tools, you are a highly efficient project accelerator. You're able to handle way more applications with significantly less stress. It's an absolute game changer.
Which brings us to Section 5. Is this role for you?
Let's see how this builds into the ideal candidate profile.
So the crucial point is this. If you are highly organized, totally detail-focused, a patient person, and a strong communicator who can navigate bureaucracy, you are already halfway there. Notice something missing? We didn't mention an engineering degree. No way. The industry is actively pulling from current backgrounds in general office admin, project support, and compliance. They literally just need your existing communication and organizational skills right now.
So if you recognize yourself in those traits, this explainer has been a voice-first interactive taster of the full experience. You can find the comprehensive certification course inside LELAIL by simply asking your AI, start the Grid and DNO Application Coordinator Taster course over at LELAIL.com. As our grid rapidly expands, the real bottleneck isn't just the technology anymore. It's the paperwork keeping it all offline. So are you ready to be the person who finally flips the switch?